Wellness and wellness. Welcome to the joint that we do here, our thing of ours. Give you a couple of minutes to get your treats together as we go into the sunspot. Ooh, I don't like Welcome aboard, welcome aboard. Glad you're here. Make sure you type in something. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Get involved. As we make maneuvers, bust corners, sidestep competition, spin out on these cats, post up. Under 5 minutes, make sure you get your treats. Under 5 minutes, get your treats. No, we're not playing games. We're doing the thing. Times. Shifty, shady world, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I see you. Shifty, shady world.
Wishy-washy stuff, not solid, man. Stay over here, man. You got some classic coats over here, man. Straight up. You got classic coats and new generation over the Pepsis, man. Which one are you, man?
Welcome, wellness, in abundance to you and your families. This is I, 2 Omega Sun 88. If you like to follow other social media projects, you know, I'm just a regular G from around your neighborhood, maybe that you may have seen, walk past, or even talk to in a local store trying to get some coffee. You know what I'm saying? The half on half with like the 2 sugars, whatever you do in your life. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here, and I definitely want to say peace and wellness to you. We're gonna start with a little tune. Let's start with a little tune because that's what I like to do. Plus, I always do the hashtag Wu-Tang Wednesday thing. For those that follow me on social media, shout out to my Facebook family that's on board right now, and salute to everybody that's basically stumbling into the YouTube family. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you all. If you can, like, comment, share, subscribe as we move into other things. Here we go. Let's see if you recognize this stuff. Hold on. Had a stream early. I had to shut things down and bring things back up. There's the link in the description if you want to try to get on. And I say try because it's not for everybody. Let's go. One bird. Come on in, come on.
Yo, I run a rich rap down to one corners. In Mother Alley's name, blue valleys at the grand finale. Still in more currency, catches the eyes of the youth. One time, play it on 3 corners of the room. Gently, like some of the wet back. Got the G-Back, how will I keep black and brothers? Flexing labels like cables, like sabers. Busting up, trying to make a baby. Hard times, when they go around, my name is mine. Stuff is playing mine, but we ain't related cause you created mine. They see me laughing up, but they 50s with 360s, blowing like 160, selling 50s. Through to the wicked,
Down to the block, that's the damn block.
moving on standby,
Man, wow.
the game. I'm mentally tear down the brain, half of us are feeling pain.
Big boy, let it rain.
I guess my team is marvelous. Street like novelists, let it rain.
Swallow this.
When I take you through this air, let it rain.
You know how to love me. Makes me feel so good. That's Ray and Ghost. You know what I'm saying? The remix to Rainy Days. Very soulful classic. Spun off the How Melvin and the Blue Notes. First of all, you know what I'm saying? Happy living to you and your family. I hope you're all doing very well. You know what I'm saying? This live stream life is, I would say it's a difficult one in some respects, but at the same time, it's very calming and soothing for those that like to express themselves, and this is a form of therapy. You know what I'm saying? You know, we bring our personalities to the table to let you know where we're coming from and how we understand things in life, and want to just like share things with you. So, you know, salute to that. You know, I'm big on the sound effects and stuff like that. I gotta respect my neighbors. I know that for sure. We all have some neighbors, and I have thick walls and all that stuff. We're away from property, but at the same time, you know, it's, you know, let's go. My theory tonight is about celebrating the genius that is around us. I'm not sure if people really are acclimated to what an indigo child is, but if you have heard of an indigo child and you're here in the joint, I see my son and C's family is up here, and you know, you can press 1. My YouTube family, you can press 7. Okay. Indigo children was a concept of these beings that are brought into today's society with, we have to say superior knowledge, or the inclination to get things right away, which is very important and definitely a great benefit to what we have to do pushing forward. Now, in saying that, is only because we are living right now in a poisoned world. You gotta truly come to grips with that and understand that. But at that same time, what we're doing is propelling ourselves into the next level of thought, of living, of prospering. And guarding your energy is very important at this time, and raising yourself to a vantage point where you can actually find heaven on earth. Now, these topics and this type of language may seem esoteric or even something that is what people say is pseudo and stuff like that. That's another thing, and I want to do a whole show on what pseudo is as well. But I think it was definitely done in a great scholarship way by the entities called the Amun-Ra Squad and the Pseudo Killers. If you ever got into those type of groups, you can Google them or type them up into the YouTube joint. Those guys laid it down on what pseudo is about. But for a different description, it's more about people that speculate about certain sciences and situations rather than actually have actual facts. More of their facts are anecdotal, close to them and what their experiences are, but not necessarily translated to the greater extreme. In other words, it's hard to be duplicated. And when it's time for us to understand what wealth is, a code of conduct is, education is, gathering resources, sustaining resources, and resupplying resources, these formulas must be built on concrete tangibles that we can all understand. And as we shift in the next 10 minutes from the 29th to the 30th, the understanding is there. So salute to that. Let me see what I got in store for you guys.
Well, that's different. I only kill under three conditions.
Oh, I don't want to do that one. I want to do that one. Alright, there we go. Okay. With that being said, we have to be able to regulate ourselves into what we need and what we need to throw away. And this is the greatest time to do this. You understand? It's the greatest time to do this. It's developing a new cycle. Oh shoot, here we go. Let me lower this down real quick. Oh yeah, alright. We're entering a new cycle. And this new cycle is compelling us to, bring greater forms of information, build past what we learned before, into striving into a new being in all intents and purposes. It's very necessary. I'm doing this to knock the bitch down real quick so I can keep up with the conversation. I hope you guys hear me. Alright, here we go. And with that is going to come a creative genius that needs to be a part of us. An understanding that needs to resonate with us so we can build into the future properly, especially with all that is to come. That's why I developed a show called Future Flow Fridays. And it's not just necessarily Fridays, but it's about the development of what is to come in robotics, in AI, in technology, and how it's going to basically meld into our organic lives, which is very important, and we really need to pay attention. Remember, as a subclass of America, very few of our promising students are entering Silicon Valley. I want you to really peep game on that. Very few of our students are entering Silicon Valley, and that can pose a good. That can actually compromise our position. Compromise our position to excel towards the future. So this show in particular, I found in one of my feeds the highlight of 3 geniuses. I mean, we have much more. That's why I said the Indigo Kids in the beginning. There's a selective few from different regions of the globe that come into this reality all knowing. Like, they can get concepts easily. They can transmit their energies through the technology very quickly. It's like a second nature. And then on top of that, they're able to bring new ideas and formulate new concepts off of the old formulations and apparatus very effortlessly and extremely quickly. And those are the people that we have to basically nurture and coddle and make sure we take care of them the best way we know how. That's why it's very important that we don't jeopardize our youth in whatever situations they may be in. As you see, we have a lot of artists right now, especially recording artists. They're going through these phases. Of course, they want to make some money for their families. They want to make money because being young is about making your status amongst your peers and in the globe. But so much is being put on the line to their detriment that it could be so serious they don't even reach the age of 25 where the brain finally starts to really get things together. And that's why I say it's content not shared. There are messages that are not expressed properly where people can totally get it, and it's causing our pain. It's bringing a new world of material worship and things of that nature, where these same young minds, if they were able to solidify themselves and find a foundation to translate their expression a better way or a more fruitful way for themselves, family, and their community, things will work out better. You have a better outcome. That's why it's also imperative that I mention the quasi principle of Ujima right now. Ujima is collective work and responsibility. And we all have a responsibility to the people that know us, firsthand, our families, our friends, our neighbors in the community that we deal with, and the ones that we don't deal with. Because those affect you as well. And the activity that you do in your own specific cipher, in your own specific space, affects them as well. When I put out these type of lives, it's a message called to me, a time capsule for many, and an expressive message to all. So, you may see certain signs and symbols around you. I don't ask for anything. It's more about, do you get the information? Do you understand what's going on right now? Alright? And what I'm going to do is go into the geniuses that we have amongst us, which is very important. Hold on, what's going on here? Gotta make sure. And the geniuses is very important because what they might do is be able to find out, you know, what's really going on with us. What we need to do as a people. Where we need to go. Okay? Bam. Alright, here we go. So if you can bear with me, let's go into the next scene. Let me see if I got everything together. Oh, this is a premiere track originally done. So don't skip on that. And if there's any lags, there's a lot of construction going on around my neighborhood. But at the same time, they're looking out for the kid. Be well with that, you know what I'm saying? Here we go. Where we at with it? Oh, okay, here we go. I hope y'all can see this. Meet 3 black geniuses with the highest IQs ever in the world. All of them are melanated youth. And it's very important that I, keep that in line. I do have some notes. First one is Romani Wilford. At this time, he was 16 years old with the IQ higher than Bill Gates and Albert Einstein. Stephen Hawking as well by the age of 11. Hold on. As you say this stuff, remember, these are the revered intellectuals in the community of scientists, supreme businessmen, and intellectual philosophers, technological philosophers, and those that exist in theory, and their proof is in the pudding. What I mean by that is that they don't have to say so much. Their work speaks for itself. Even if you are acclimated to the theory of relativity, you're not going to understand things the same way that Albert Einstein understood them because the discipline is different. Meaning, it's not going to cloud on your intellectualism to say that you understand Einstein, but you have to give reverence or at least appreciation for the work that Einstein did to develop his theory. See, a lot of us are not scientifically acclimated to what has been put forth. We even distrust it all the way together and dismiss it. Yet, these same factors affect you every day of life. Every day of your life. The work of Stephen Hawking, from the midst of his wheelchair, it brings a point of, you have to honor the scholarship for what the scholarship is, not for what his position is. If you're going to deal with things objectively, you have to deal with it objectively all the way through. So it doesn't make sense. Let's go. It doesn't make sense to pick and choose what you choose to call genius or not. And that's why this is very important. Romani Wilford, 16 years old, higher IQ than Bill Gates, Einstein, and Stephen Hawking at 11, which was at a 160 scale, and his count score was 162. through the Mensa. All right? And it's basically a recognition of patterns and understanding concepts and articulating ideas at a young age. So his IQ was over 145. No, this is somebody else. My bad. And actually, his IQ was over 140 by the time he was 11 years old, moving to 160. So at 16 years old in 2014, he was, basically competing and developing new ideas with, political scientists and even chemical scientists, about what he knew of his observation of the world. Marmani Wilford from the UK. And the first question that came into my mind is like, okay, this is the UK, well, what's going on in the US? We are so burdened with distractions. We are burdened with portions of reality that shouldn't exist in our lives the way they do. They become fodder for our mind states. While we could be progressing in a certain level, we get inundated by other people's mess, or the latest trend, or the latest news cycle. And then we spread that onto the youth before they even get out to go to school during the day. One thing I try to do, without saying so much, for the youth, I definitely let them know that it's okay to be a child. Up until the time you get to like 17 towards 18, and even then, you don't have to be the provider and breadwinner of the house. That's not your position. If that's what has been put in your lap, let's work together. Ujima, collective work and responsibility. I'm not going to get all the numbers in the world. I'm not even going to get a lot of support for vibes like this. But this is information that we need to know. I know you see me going through the different realms. There go Marmani Wilford. Scored 162, higher than Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawkins. At 16, his IQ was also higher than Bill Gates. He was only 10 when he wrote a paper on the philosophy of fairness, as Face-to-Face Africa reports. This is from MaraviPost.com. And this was posted months back. And I explained to a friend of mine, a dear friend, that this type of information is not to be seen because it develops a success model for those that wish to do better in life. Oh man, woo. For those that wish to do better in life, this is not a success model for the youth to see, because it puts in their ideas that I don't have to be a fool to succeed. Talk about it. Oh, they won't let me lower my bit rate, knowing that's the cause of me getting out of this mess. Okay. That's Marmani Wilford. In 2014, he's like 16, so he's like 20 years old right now, 19, 20 years old. Here is Anala Beavers. Anala Beavers. 4 years old. Anala Beavers possessed an IQ of over 140 years old. Let me turn this down. Salute to my producer. She could identify each letter of the alphabet when she was just 10 months. What are we doing with our children today? What are we doing to ourselves today, even more importantly? You say this is not a big feat, but it is. Genius is all about identifying patterns and calculating numbers at such a high level where you get to see how things are going to progress before they start. It gives an advantage in situations. Are we not getting that? Are we not co-signing that? In 2014, when she was 5 years old, 5 at 2014, 5, so I had on 7 years, she's 12 now. Anala could recite the name of every North American state, not just a U.S. state, North American state, and capital on the map. Give her flowers while she's here. Where my people's at? Where my people's at? Where my people's at? Oh, where my people's at? Clap it. While she was 5 years old. Look at this beautiful child right here. Last but not least, and definitely not least, and not last. Progressive mind state of beautiful melanated children. It could be your child. It could be your child. Stop playing, it could be your child. Atlanta, George. Thank you, Anala. Now it's Atlanta. Them A's is rocking. Them A's is rocking. Who has an IQ score of 140? The youngest member of the Mensa from the United Kingdom. Salute to the United Kingdom. And salute to the people in the United Kingdom that have that genuine discipline for understanding what education is about. And we have it here too. Don't get it all the way twisted. We have a great deal of young adults moving on to higher forms of education when they're suspected their trajectory was supposed to be, the average graduate at 17, going to college at 18. These kids are going to college at 16. But the squeaky wheel gets the oil. A lot of our conversation is about people that don't necessarily contribute the same way. Not to diminish or dismiss their experience on earth. Everybody can change. Everybody can rearrange their lifestyle. But if they're destructive, we need not to take part in what they're doing, except to announce it and call it for what it is. But if you're progressing like young Alana, who has a high IQ score of 140, and at the age of 4, she has an obsession with words and numbers. She's able to more than navigate through society, but to produce more ideas, more of her expression and open-mindedness may have even the cure for a lot of our ailments. The squeaky wheel doesn't always have to get the oil. We have to oil those that have the preparation as well. Give them the resources. Put them out on the forefront so that becomes the success model moving forward. It's not all about who has the hottest talk. It's not all about who has the spiciest speech moving forward. How is that impressive? To degrade yourselves in order to disparage others. Where is the civilization in that? How do you feel karma? Where we at? Yo. Karma supposed to help you out now? Cause you got the best drag? Cause you can talk greasy? Cause you can pose like you that person? When many people get nervous in the situation? Oh, people don't get nervous in the situation? How many people in jail right now because of a nervous situation? How many people want to run or drop life altogether to change all the way through? So don't have to be, what's the key word? Accountable. This is all about collective work and responsibility. Each one teach one. Share our ideas about what reality is so we can all get together and readjust so the next generation can fulfill those dreams and goals. We can't be at a standstill too long. And when I say we, right, it's not particularly set for just one group. It's for those who get it. Because if you get it, you got it, and things can change. Yes. If you get it, you got it, and things can change. Now, I'm not going to be too long on this one, man, because we can go into overtime and Grover time, but I definitely wanted to highlight these three beautiful people on their route of gaining higher learning. And I'll have to submit and honor. I have to submit my ego and honor them for the work that they do and the potential that is in them. And all the indigo children from everywhere on the globe, especially in our own backyards that we are basically neglecting by serving our own egos. So you young man that bust in the crowd and not know the genius on the other end of that pistol, both sides. You who are in desperation to think that all I need to do is extend my arm and I can get heard, and deny your divine existence right now. I need you to really see this, because this is who you jeopardize, and it makes us cold. It makes us cold. We got to do better. We 150,000% got to do better. I implore you to do better. Regardless of how many times it stopped or it got stuck in a position of, nah, look into the words that I'm saying to you. I hope you can hear them. I hope it resonates with your spirit, with your gut, in your soul, in your inner light. Because you may want to have a child like this one. like this one. Like this one. And our actions have to protect that. Our actions. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Even that. Have the conversation with you and your family. A way you can go differently. If you're in a position that compromises these three. And that's in anywhere in America near you. I bid you good fortune, wellness, happiness, spiritual upliftment, and spiritual power amongst you and your people.